Hello, everybody. Um, so today, I'm planning to stream for a little longer, um, maybe 1 and 1.5 hours. I don't know, depending on the question and where we get it. Um, but this stream is basically me solving the lead code problems that I've seen, and I take time to solve this question. And one of the things that I've learned so far is that is that we cannot memorize this question, we cannot memorize this pattern. And when I'm laying out ideas in the first place, it has become harder for me to solve that on the get go. If I lay them down and if I just directly don't go and try to code, it doesn't work out for me uh, too well. Um, and so I'll try to solve as one or two question maybe, and that's a generous shot if we are doing that. But yeah, let's try to um, see that where that leads us, and maybe you can hear a noise. I'm gonna turn that off. So let's see where this is gonna lead us. I'm gonna share my screen super quick, and so the question that I was trying to solve was actually merge sorted array, right? And this is the code that I am on right now. I already tried to solve this question with the actually we can directly solve it using that method, um, and actually we can start from there. So I'm gonna reset this, right? And see, let's see. We are given an array, something like this, right? So I have this array, control C. Let's call it array, and then there was array B, and that's right here, right? And is equal to 6, is equal to 3. And let's see. So what's the question is saying? We are given two integer array, num1 and num2, sorted in non-decreasing order, very important. And two integers m and n representing number of elements. There are 6 elements here, three elements here. So that's m and n respectively. And we have to merge that into single array in non-decreasing order. So basically, after merging this, I want this to be sorted, and the final sorted array should not be returned by the function. We are not supposed to return the array, but instead be stored inside the array num1. And to accommodate this, nums1 has a length of m plus n. We can see here m is 3, of course, right? And where the first elements denote the elements that should be merged, and the last n elements are set to be 0, so should be ignored. So we are supposed to ignore that. So the way I would do it is basically taking this, stripping zeros away. 2, 5, 6 should be added at the last, and then sort. Um, that's like the simplest way. Let's talk about the time complexity here. Here is, of course, Um, so we are basically stripping these elements away and then joining these elements. But the main time complexity that comes in is sorting out n plus n elements, and hence our time complexity is this, and there is no space complexity. Or maybe there is, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it can be. It can be O of n. So now the question that I'm gonna solve, I'm gonna write it into chat. It's a merge sorted array, right? And it's a lead code problem number 88. So pretty cool. Um, and so the way I'm gonna do it is basically I'll traverse through m plus n elements. So I will say for I in range um, m plus n minus 1, right? Because it's going to be totally 6 elements and I want to go on the zero index based. And once you do that, if I is of course less than n, you want to continue. But if it's greater than or equal to, if I is greater than or equal to m plus n, greater than m, um, I want to um, substitute the nums elements. So nums1 I will basically replaced by nums2 I. And it should be actually, well, it should be I plus m, right? Or no, we are correct on this one. Nums2 I, the current element, and minus m, right? And that should be it. And I think that should be it. That should be the code that we are looking for. Now let's get a bit deeper into this one. So of course, I want to go from n plus n to minus 1. So basically this n plus n, 6 minus 1 is 5, right? So we want to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 times. And if our current index I is less than m, which is 3, so we'll go from 0, 1, 2, right? And then what we want to do after end of this, we want to sort the nums1 array, right? And if your I is greater than or equal to m, just want to replace that ith element to I minus m. And I is of course at this point 3, and you're gonna do 3 minus 3, so you'll start from 0 element, right? And then your I will be increased automatically. Now let's look at some of the cases where it might fail. You have nums1, m is equal to 1, so basically n is equal to 0. And so range of 0, that means you will just run it once if I is less than m, right? If I is less than m, if 0 is less than 1, you want to continue and you want to sort the elements. So I think that will hold right. You'll get 1, right? And then let's say m is 0 and n is 0, right? Um, And in m is 0 and n is equal to 1, then once again you're going to do the same thing. You'll come here, and your m is of course 0, and so this won't hold, but this will, and so your first element is going to be updated. The only problem that I see is that m and n both can be 0, right? And in that case, it will basically say um, range of -1, and that would be a problem. So if m is equal to 0 and n is equal to 0, you want to return nothing but an empty array. Return nums. Let's see, and I want to run this, and only one has passed. Okay, why is that? I'm missing element 6 here. Why is that? Wait a second. Control Z, and so for I in range m plus n minus 1, m is equal to 3 plus 3 minus 1, which is of course leading into 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Actually, it should be m plus n, dude, because you want this to be run, and when you submit that, I hope it's gonna work, and I've already solved it. So and that's one of the way to do it, but the real way to do it is this little follow-up question. That's the real key. And it says that can you come up with an algorithm that runs this in OM plus n time? And so yeah, let me submissions and I notes. I want to add notes. Wait for live stream solution. I reached it faster than last time. So let's reset this, confirm. Okay. Now the other method that I'm looking for is of course this one, which is you have A as something, you have B as something, right? So you have this, of course, Control C, and then you have this, right? And what you want to do is basically comparing these two elements, right? So if 1 and 2, um, it's basically kind of a two-pointer method, right? It's kind of a two-pointer method where your I is pointing to your where you are on array A, and your J pointer should be reflecting where you are on B. And the basic idea is we compare the elements as at I and J respectively. So you can have 1 and 2, and so I'll it's already sorted elements. So I'll compare 1 and 2, and I see that 1 is smaller, right? And so, and if I have updated that, I want to move forward here, move forward, and I'll get 2 and 2. And if those are similar, right, I still want to keep element from 2 and update I. So at this point, I'm at 3 and I'm at 5 here. I'm at 3 and I'm at 2 here. And now at this point, what happens is that you want to keep 2 and you want to update the J pointer. But where are you going to store this 3? Because as soon as you are replacing that 2 right here, your 3 is gone. Basically, you're messing with your original array. And the way to do this is to create a parallel array, something like this. So let's call it dummy. right? And you have 1, 2, 3, and you have b is equal to 2, 5, 6. And at this point, I mean, you can compare these two and directly change this, right? So it's not going to affect your original array. And talking about the time complexity, we're going to do this comparison to m plus n time, right? But we have to consider that we are using an extra space, right? And in last case, it was, I don't know, maybe let's look at the editorial. Yep, space complexity is O of m. Fair enough, guys. So that seems to be like a way to go, and I'm gonna comment this out for now. And I'm gonna just briefly say that will use two pointers to keep track of where our comparison is right now. And of course, what you want to do is and create a dummy. So you won't lose elements from original A, right? So let's do that. Create dummy nums1, right? So for each element, for I in range, and you want to go from 0 to m, right? And you want to create a which is what should we call it? Dummy nums1, right? So let me say dummy nums1. Actually call it nums1 copy. Well, yeah, it would be easy to just write it down and copy. And nums1 copy. Ith element should be equal to nums1's ith element, right? And after doing that, you will have your dummy element. Now create a pointers, right? So I want to call it pointer1, which also should start from 0, and pointer2, which should actually start from m, right? Well, let's call it 0 for now. How about that? Right? And so what we're gonna do about it? Create a for loop. And this for loop should basically go over 6 times. Right? So it should be m plus n. Right? And each time, if the current element that I have, right, it's nums1. If nums one's ith element is actually lesser or equal to that nums of 2 ith element. Actually, nums1 copy, right? Nums1 copy. Nums1 copy. That is the case. I just wanna pass that out. Or maybe no, I want to, well, it should be nums1, my bad. Because, well, I mean, it's gonna be a similar thing, right? You wanna continue. But if that's not the case, then you want to put nums2's nums1 nums1's original array. You want to replace it with nums2. And if this is happening, right, I also want to increase the pointer 1, which is pointing to our array nums1. So plus 1, right? And this is also the case if nums1 of I is actually the current element is greater than what we have seen. If that is the case, then I want to increase pointer 2, right? And I think that should be it, guys. It should return. Actually, it should be pointer 1. Pointer 1 and pointer 2. Oops. There seems to be a problem. So what's happening here? Now I'm starting to think we had only used while loop, where we are saying that pointer 1 plus pointer 2 are both still less than n plus n. That would have made difference. I'm getting an error list index is out of range, which is weird because these both are pointing to 0 at the first shot, right? Yeah. If my if this point is greater than is less than or equal to nums2, I want to increase pointer 1, which is correct, right? And you want to jump to continue, or else why I'm getting out of range. That's the thing, right? Should not be. I think that this condition is actually a problem, right? What I want to do is I want to iterate it over 6 times in our case, especially. And pointer one is pointing to 0, pointer 2 is pointing to 0 as well. Um, it should be or. If this condition is false, then I'm gonna get out. But if nums1 copy, right, and I think that should be the case here as well. Uh-huh. Want to change the original array. If nums1 copy pointer 1, which is of course 0 at the very beginning, and nums2 pointer is 0. So if these two are, if they are the I don't know what's wrong here, but nums1 copy pointer. If nums1 copy, am I creating a variable correctly? Yeah, it is. Nums1 pointer, pointer 1, and nums2's pointer 2 is nums1 pointer. That one is also 0. Is also 0. It should not create a problem, right? And it should go for 0. Then we're gonna increase it one time, then second time. So first time it will be here. We're gonna increase it. Second time also, it's gonna do the same thing. And then when you come the third time, it should not create a problem. Why I'm getting in that list index out of range? It's not there. It's not. Nums1 copy. Print nums1 copy here. Yep, my nums1 copy is right when I'm debugging. Oh, right, it's 1, 2, 3. Pointer 1, pointer 2, While I'm coming here, nums on copy pointer 1 is zero element, should be 1. 1 is less than nums2's pointer. Nums2's pointer. Well, I mean, it's working right now. Okay. That's also true. Okay, so I think let's look at this once again. I want to run it 6 times, right? Nums1 copy at the very first, I think it will. Nums1 copy.